Most days I'm up and out of bed right at 6 o'clock, and I immediately am getting ready for my run and then going and doing my run. But there's some days where the day before I did so much training and I was just so active that my body needs the rest and I sleep in. And that is what I did today. I slept in. It's 8 o'clock right now. Allowed my body to get some rest and just allow myself to recover more and just make sure I don't get injured. And yes, I still feel all my training from yesterday, but I'm still going to train today. I've just got to run today, a 6 mile run, but I'm gonna switch up my schedule, which I usually would never do, but I'm going to run in the afternoon after my first set of classes and before my last class. So something that I'm changing on some days just to allow myself to recover from all the training that I do and part of my busy life as a student. But in the meantime, I'm going to do some mobility to still get my body moving this morning, and it's just gonna help me stay flexible and help me loosen up and not get injured so I can get my run done this afternoon without feeling super sore from all of my training yesterday, which I'll get into what all that training was yesterday that is making my body so sore and so tired and needing to get an extra 2 hours of rest like I did today. But we'll get to that. There's two things I want to quick clarify. And the first one being is what chasing greatness, what greatness looks like to me. And for me, I am chasing to become the most athletic person I can be on a personal level. I'm not comparing myself to other people, just trying to reach the greatest athletic version of myself that I can, and as well as just the best person that I can be. That's very broad, but like right now I'm training for my first marathon, and even though it's my first marathon, I want to run it fast. And I'm also in the gym trying to lift and become strong. And actually this is the 6 pillars that I've laid out. This is my 6 pillars of athleticism, something I've kind of put together, and it's strength, speed, power, agility, flexibility, and endurance. Right now I'm focusing mainly, my primary goal is the pillar of endurance, but then there's also strength and speed that are secondary pillars that I'm working on at the moment. I'm working on all of them, but that's what pursuing greatness looks like to me. I guess on top of that, I'm also a college student, so I'm pursuing to graduate college in 2 years as planned. But that's what pursuing greatness looks like to me. And then the second thing I wanted to clarify is that the cost of pursuing this greatness, the only cost isn't just that I have to train a lot and that I have to spend a lot of time doing things that maybe I don't always want to do, and those things make me tired and sore. No, that's not the only cost. I have to make decisions that maybe I don't always want to make, or I have to make sacrifices with, hanging out with friends and I have to sacrifice time with other people. That's the biggest thing, because the training and the soreness, that for me, that's the easy part. It's the other aspects, the other costs that for me are the hardest, and that I'm actually confronted with the most as being difficult for me, which I'll get into later in this video, but I just wanted to clarify those two things. I'm now on my way to actually go pick up my residence permit so I can stay here in Germany legally for the rest of my semester here, and then going straight to my first class of the day. But so I'll get those done, and then I'll check in when I get back to my apartment, and I can then go for my run, and then I'll talk more about the other stuff. But anyways, back from classes and the little errand I had to run before that. Now got a 6-mile run, and hopefully my extra 2 hours of rest this morning would have been enough for my legs to recover a little bit more than what they would have. But I'm gonna do some more stretching and mobility again, and then I'll be on my way and getting this run done at almost 1 o'clock now. So I've made it back from my 6-mile run. Actually perfect timing because it just started raining pretty good. But I did not get wet at all, which is nice. But now I'm just gonna clean up and get ready for my next class, and I should have time after I do that before my class to really talk about what my training looked like yesterday that caused me to feel the need to sleep in and push my run back later into the day. So I'll talk about that in a second. All right, now what did my training look like yesterday that I needed to get an extra 2 hours of sleep and push my run to the afternoon or midday? So what did my training look like? Start off with my morning run as usual. It was an 8-mile easy run, nothing out of the ordinary. And then in the afternoon at 2 o'clock, I went and did a chest, shoulders, and tricep workout at the gym, just lifting. And then the real kicker, what really made me think I needed to get the extra sleep, the extra rest, which I knew I needed the rest. I knew my body would need it today, but I went right from the gym to go play soccer, which it was 2 sessions of soccer, each session being an hour and a half back to back. So 3 hours straight of soccer, which that alone is a lot. And then paired with having a lifting session right before and then an 8-mile run in the morning, technically that's 4 training sessions that I had, 3 of which are on my feet and they're all running. Those three of the sessions were all just on my feet and running, and a lot of stress on my legs. So that is the training that I did yesterday that required me to get the necessary rest, and just what makes my body so sore and tired right at the start of the week, because yesterday was Monday and every Monday looks like that. Run in the morning, lifting session, 2 soccer sessions. And yes, I could not do one of those soccer sessions, the first one, but I want to improve my soccer skills. I want to improve like I said, was talking about earlier in the video, the 6 pillars of athleticism, and soccer does that. And I'm going to be playing soccer back in the US again next semester, once I'm back in the US. So I want to improve those skills. So I feel it's necessary to be doing all 4 of those sessions. And I did work my way up to that much work in a single day, and just as much work as I'm doing in a week, but it still makes my body sore, and I feel the buildup of fatigue, tiredness, and just the stressors that my body takes. I feel that build up throughout the week. But for me, it's totally worth it, because like this video is titled, I'm pursuing greatness, I'm chasing greatness, but there is a cost. And I'm gonna now go to my second and last class of the day, but afterwards I'm gonna talk about really what is the real cost of pursuing greatness, beyond just spending a lot of time training and my body being fatigued and tired, which that's a big cost. But for me, that's not the biggest cost. So let's talk about the real cost of pursuing greatness. And from what I've seen and what I've experienced, is that the real cost is that
people aren't going to understand why you do the things that you do, and people are going to question you, and they're going to have their own opinions about you, and good chance that they're not going to be good opinions, or they're going to be drastically different from what you believe. And you just have to accept that, and you got to realize that people aren't going to see eye to eye with you. Like for me, we've already established I train a lot, and people constantly ask me, well, why? Why do you train so much? What's the point? Because in their eyes, there's no benefit to train that much, because you just train a little bit. Oh well, now I'm healthy because I trained a little bit. Which, yes, it's that makes sense. It's not hating on people that don't train as much as me. Train as much as you want. But for me, I want to train a lot. I want to get physically stronger, faster, be able to run farther. And people aren't going to understand that. And that goes into also when people want to do things with me and I don't have the time because of my training. And I make the conscious decision to not go out, to not. I don't drink. I've never have drank alcohol, and all that stuff. It's like, no, that's not what I do. It's not what I'm gonna start doing, and people don't understand that, and I just have to accept that people aren't going to understand that. Especially, I mean, I'm living in Germany, and I constantly get asked, "Oh, why would you come to Germany if you don't drink alcohol or if you don't drink beer?" It's like, well, and it's just like another question. It's like, people don't understand, and they're not going to understand it. So the way I see it, there's no point in explaining it, and you just gotta accept that, and that's the real cost. For a while, until you find people doing the same things as you, similar goals, you're gonna feel like an outcast, and that's the true cost of pursuing greatness. And yeah, a lot of times it does feel lonely, and it's hard. I mean, but that's kind of why I moved to Germany, or one of the reasons I moved to Germany, is that it's like, well, I already feel lonely. Not lonely, but I feel like I feel like I'm different than other people. Not in egotistical way, but like I just feel different. So it's like, why not just take it a step further and move to another country? And so I shouldn't say that's a reason I came to Germany, but it's a reason it was so easy for me to move to Germany. Going back to what I was saying earlier, it's, yes, a cost of this amount of training and pursuing greatness is, yes, you're gonna get tired, you're gonna get hurt. And actually, today is Saturday, supposed to have my long run, and it was supposed to be 15 miles. I ran 15 miles before, but I couldn't. After 8 miles, I had to stop running because I felt tightness in my left hamstring, and my hamstrings are always tight and sore. I mean, all of my legs are always sore, but it was a tightness and a almost pain that I was like, I've felt this before, and last time I pushed through it and then I got injured. That was 2 years ago when I hurt my right hamstring, and it was the same feeling, and I pushed through it. That 2 years ago I pushed through it, and then I got injured. I don't want that to happen again. I'm trying to get smarter in my training and how I do things. So I pushed my ego aside and said, all right, we're done running for the week. Only run 8 miles. That's fine. Have tomorrow, Sunday, as a rest day, as usual, and go back into training on Monday. Smarter, not trying to push the pace, not letting ego control how fast I run, how far I run. And I did lower my long runs for the next 3 weeks of training because of this. And I'm just trying to be smarter and not get injured, because it's not an injury. It's just if I keep pushing it, it's gonna be. But that's the cost of training as much as I do and pursuing greatness. But let's wrap this video up. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. Know it's kind of been all over the place, especially with me recording this last bit, few days later, and it's just kind of a mess. But anyways, thank you. But if you want to keep watching, watch this video right here. That's last video before this one, so watch that. And then if you want to try out any of the fitness apparel that I wear in most of my training from First Form, shirts and shorts, you can check those out. Links are in the description. I've also used their supplements in the past, but I can't get them here in Germany. But I would still highly recommend those supplements, so check those out as well. Links are in the description. I highly recommend all of those products. But thank you all for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.